So recently I started doing door-to-door sales back in December of this past year of 2024, and now it's beginning of April. So I've been doing it for about 3.5 months now, and I've learned a lot of lessons, but by no means am I a professional, am I an expert. I've had some pretty good success, been doing pretty well, doing door to door, but basically I just started writing down some of my takeaways every day, and actually on Saturday, and I wanted to go ahead and start making a video each day. And honestly, whether it helps maybe you who's watching the video, or maybe it's for my posterity, or maybe it's for me watching later on so I can remember these lessons, I just wanted to share a couple of lessons, maybe one, maybe a couple of the lessons that I learned each day as I'm going ahead and selling. Wrote down a couple of lessons I learned today. Today it was pouring rain, and so basically we had a lot of opposition from just the rain itself. And my first lesson was having the right gear as a door-to-door salesman is so important. I remember back in early January, I went out and knocked, and it was pouring rain, and I just had a waterproof jacket that wasn't very waterproof, and I was drenched, and my jeans were drenched, all my clothes, like everything was sopping wet, and I was just miserable. As compared to today, I had waterproof boots, waterproof pants, jacket. I had an umbrella. Like, I had all of that stuff that kept me dry, and so I could actually think about selling and talking to people versus, am I going to be soaking wet, and is this day going to be miserable? I wasn't wet at all, even though it was raining the entire day. So that was number one. Number two, bad weather can make people more apprehensive. That's what I've noticed. That, for example, today I had about 12 different people that commented on the rain, and maybe it was the area that I'm in. Maybe it doesn't rain that much here. Maybe in other areas where it rains a lot, then maybe they don't have that issue. But maybe it's different types of weather that people aren't used to in the area. But at least the people reacted to me, started saying, "What? How can you be out in this weather? Your company actually lets you out in this weather? That's a little strange. Why are you allowed to come out? You shouldn't be out here." It was instantly, I was faced with that opposition of the bad weather, okay? And so my takeaway was, at first I started making it as an excuse, like, oh, I won't get as many sales today because it's bad weather. But that's not something I can control. So rather than blaming the weather, I want to make it as a reason of why I should be selling, why I should early on in the conversation build even more rapport with the person, of becoming their friend, of getting them to laugh, of getting them to like me, and so that they're not questioning why I'm there. And then even if they want to buy, they're still like, well, I just don't know about that guy. So that was takeaway number two. Number three is, no matter how many no's I get, or you get, when you're knocking, the next door there can always be a yes. Because the great thing about it is that the neighbors usually don't talk to one another. Sometimes they do, which happened on Saturday. They were literally calling up each other saying, don't get it. Most of the time that doesn't happen, which is good. And so because that doesn't happen, even if you get many no's right in a row, that next door can say yes. And that's what happened to me this morning. I got a lot of no's in the morning. I took a break, and then right after that break I went out, and it was one of the next doors, and this guy was like, oh yeah, I've actually been thinking about this. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. So it was nice to know, hey, not everybody's gonna say no. They're not programmed to say no. And so just keep on knocking is the point there. And the last takeaway is that Every day is a new day. On this past Saturday, I got 10. Had a great sales day. 10 sales in a day. Today, I was at 0 at 4 o'clock, and I ended up with 3 sales. So I went from 10 down to 3. My goal every day right now is 5 a day. I just want to be Mr. Consistent. And so, knowing that in sales every single day is a new day and is game day, that I have to perform today, and that it's a slippery slope justifying, say, well, I got 10 on Saturday and 3 today, so 13. That's really whatever, 6.5 sales that I'm averaging. But that average game, I've noticed for myself, has slowly led me down a path of going down in sales versus going up in sales. Usually I'm fine with it when it goes down, but I'm like, oh, that was a great day when it goes the other way around. So don't average out the days. Treat every single day as this is life or death. I need to get my minimum number of sales today. So yeah, those are my sales takeaways today. Hopefully they help you out when you're selling.